One absolutely beautiful day, but no time to enjoy it today. Today I thought I would, since the last video I got a few comments of you guys asking like how I put together those loops that I use to make the ethnic style beats, you know, with those ethnic kind of loops. So I thought I would show you how I make those ethnic style loops. I thought what would be a really good idea and like an easier way for you guys to figure this out for yourselves is if I go into detail on one of the loops that I made in the last video, just break down sound by sound, effect by effect, and just like my thought process and like the workflow of it. And then what I thought I'd do after that is then just go ahead and build up a loop from scratch so you guys can kind of maybe follow along step by step as I'm making it. And you know, I'll just take you through like what sounds work well together, what sounds don't work well together, etc, etc. If you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and get onto the Saturn drum kit. It's a totally 100% royalty free drum kit that I dropped a few days ago, about a week ago now actually. I'll leave a link down in the description if you want to jump on it. But yeah, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like the video, drop a comment, and let's get into this video. Okay, so this is the loop that I'm going to break down. Real ethnic vibes. I didn't use any samples in this. Quick disclaimer, I did use paid plugins for this, so like there's no beating around the bush. Like if you want good sound, you have to spend a bit of money. Alright, so the first thing I came in with was Contact, and I used Elliott Ethymorph guitar, acoustic guitar. And this is what the MIDI looks like. Really simple. It's just a simple triad, I think. And these chords are like kind of spaced out, and the reason they look really spaced out is because they are. The difference is these are just basic triads. So the triad is E minor. So the only reason why it looks like it's really spread out is because that G is originally like that belongs there in like a basic triad. All I did was just knock it up an octave. Whoops. All I did was knock it up an octave. Basic E minor, and then I just went down to C minor, and then down one more to B minor. Okay, and that's it. That's like the main chord progression, or is it B major, something like that? Yeah, that's what I put in first. And then the second thing I put in with was Arcade actually for this beat, and this is kind of useful because it is realistic sound, so I guess you could say this is actually kind of a loop. I came in with the Passport line. It's called Muddy Oud. It's like a guitar, ethnic kind of sitar kind of sound. Okay, it's really basic. Like I didn't even like, you know, go around and play loads of keys. In my head, I already knew that I wanted something to be quite simple, and this is kind of a subtle sound in the whole loop. So like in context with the actual guitar, you know, it just kind of acts as like a foundation for the melody. Cool. After we had that, then I just layered up those chords and just played it with Labs. And this is actually a free plugin. I covered this in another video. Okay, just some real like basic lush chords. That just follows the exact same progression that we went with before. So E minor, C minor, and then B minor, or B major, sorry. But the key for these is bridge chords, and this is like fundamental. I do this in every single chord progression. So when you have like these chords, especially the ones that are kind of long, you know, sort of drawn out chords, you want to have these bridge notes. And basically what a bridge note is like is you can see it as a visual right here. You have a chord, and then you want to connect each chord together just with a couple of passing notes like in between. So that was that. After that we added the top melody, which was from Contact. It's the Balkan Ethnic Orchestra Gypsy Violin preset, and that sounds like this. Okay, and as you can see, there's barely anything in it, but the key to this, and again, it has to be said, is the sound selection. If I was just to use a real basic VST, or if I used like a stock synthy VST with like a violin preset, it just sound really one-dimensional. And like, let me just give you an example, right? So let me just load up like Citrus, for example. Strings, where's a string? Let's use the exact same keys. Sounds okay, but it does like compared to this, like the dynamics, the realism of it, it all just comes together so much like more nice. So yeah, that was the top melody, and then we just came in with a few one shots, man. This is like another Asian inspired instrument. I don't know what the actual instrument's called. Is it called I think it's actually called a Yanquin, and that sounds like this. Yeah, so like again, like really cool, real like sampled kind of sounds. The key is just to get the bounce in there, you know. For me, a lot of the times it's just adding those like triplet notes in. And I think that was it for the loop. Yeah, that's the whole loop. So you basically put all that together and then you end up with this. Okay. Bit of mixing, added some effects to these. So like the main effects that I'll normally come in with is of EQ. So what I'll basically do for most sounds, especially sounds with a lot of low end, is I'll EQ around 100 hertz to 200 hertz, and I'll cut off some of the top end as well, like normally around 12,000. That's like a base cut to keep the mix clean, and then anything after that is just personal preference. So RC20, added some kind of preset, went for the vinyl free preset in this instance, but other than that, that's the whole loop. I know there is a lot of elements to it, but if you have those basic chords down, if you have those, you know, basic fundamental things, and then you can really get in, man. So yeah, for those of you that want to leave the video right now and jump on it yourself, go ahead and do that. But for those of you who want to just kind of go along with me right now, man, let's get a loop put together in front of you guys. So I'm gonna kick things off with, let's go with the amp or guitar this time. It's pretty cool. Let's go to options and then just go to dump score log past 2 minutes, and then it's got everything that you just played. Yeah, it's right there, so I can get rid of all that. And then we've got our melody right there. Okay, that sounds good to me. And then I'm just gonna copy that across, and there's my basic melody. That's a nice little melody there. And then in the second half we can add a bit of variation, so we can maybe go to F instead of G, and maybe come up to A, play that note. Yeah, now that's like a good melody to begin with. Sometimes I might go in like and click in some extra notes, just ones that I couldn't naturally play, you know, maybe just to give it some more bounce. Now I can kind of build my chords underneath it. So I know that I'm in the C minor scale, so I can really just go in and just put the root notes in and just experiment with what energy that I want to go with for. And this is really where the loop, or like the vibe for the loop, comes through. Just to give you an example, if you wanted to have like just a hard beat, you'd probably just have it in C just the whole time. Just like that. Or if you wanted to give it more of a sad vibe, you know, like a Rod Wave kind of feel, then you'd go just down, you just go down 3 keys. And then just repeat it. So for me, I think I'm gonna have it just in C to begin with, and maybe go down 5 keys to G. Just repeat that. And then I might go a little bit different in this second half, so I'm just gonna copy that across to begin with. And then I'm going to maybe go down to F. And then stay in G in this part. And that's it. Maybe go up to G sharp right here, because we're starting in C here, so that'll kind of match up better with the keys that we're playing. Yeah, that's better. And that's it. There's my chords right there. So you want to get that top bit in first, and then after that just go in with these root notes, and these root notes are going to be what you build the chord up from. Happy with that. Now I'm just going to add it to the mixer, and I'm just going to add a couple of effects. So as I said before, I'm just going to add a basic EQ, and then just cut around 100 hertz, and then maybe cut around 12,000 as well. RC20. Alright, cool. Let's go in with a different sound. So there isn't really like a limit, or there isn't like, you could just go in with that single sound if you wanted to. For my personal taste, I like to stack things up a little bit. So what I could do right now is just come in with, let's go in with Contact. Just keeping it simple with this sound. I might switch this sound out in a second. It's a bit weird for my liking. That's better. Okay, that's better. That's nice. All right, I'm gonna bounce that out as a loop right now. I'm gonna play with the pitch a bit. I think this would sound better a little bit lower. Maybe just down 1 pitch. Yeah, that's better. Okay, there's a good loop for me. Now, what I like to do is put 2 next to each other. I'll then come to this one, make it unique, and then I'll like do something with this second part right here. I'd maybe just pitch it up a whole octave, or I'd put it into the mixer. You know, add some like halftime to it, or like add some effects rack to it. Let's just try some halftime and see what it sounds like. Oh, that's 5. All right, now next thing that I'll do is start to add some top melodies. So I'm gonna go in with Contact again. I think I already know what I'm gonna add, especially for this ethnic kind of vibe. I'm going to add ethnic vocal phrases by Sona Score. There you go, right there. And just another one right here. Obviously we don't want to have it that loud and that harsh, so what I'm going to do is add an EQ to it, get rid of a ton of the lows, and then I'm going to add some reverb to it. For vocals I like to go into the plate section, if like thin plate or like tight plate or something. And then I'll add another EQ and then just soften it up. Like you can soften it up by taking out the mids. That's like where a lot of the power frequencies are. So you see how that's really put it towards the back of the loop. All right, cool. Let's go in with something else. Let's go in with like some short pluckier sounds that's going to give it some more bounce, because at the minute it's nice but the vibe's a little bit like dead. So let's go in with Labs, the Moon guitar. This is like, if you remember before when we put the guitar in, the second half has got different chords in it. So the reason why I put this in is to essentially do that bridging thing that we did earlier. There you go. Let's maybe switch up that sound in Labs. Well, that's cool. Alright, and there's a loop for us, man. And we can just go in with some drums, man. If you're going for an ethnic style, it's more to do with the loop, like, because you want the loop to be heard, because that's what's gonna like create the vibe. Yeah, let's go in, man. I might actually slow this whole beat down a bit. And just add some loop operator to it, give it a bit of bounce. There you go. Let's go with the 808. I actually think this beat would be better off in like C minor or something. 808 seems a little bit loose. Yeah, it's hard, man. That is hard. So yeah, man, I hope that kind of helped. A lot of it is sound selection, and a lot of it is just your workflow. But yeah, I hope that was good. Make sure you jump on the Saturn kit if you haven't jumped on it already. There's tons of free kits on my site, paid kits that obviously are better kits. But every download, all the support really does help the channel. So yeah, I appreciate you guys. And that's going to be it for today. I'll see you guys in the next one.